Good evening, one and all, and welcome to another edition of the Full-Time Sports Network, KopTalk. And what a splendid edition it is, I must say. We are sponsored by Global Mapping Surveys, and Global Mapping Surveys currently assist architects, property developers, and construction companies all over the country, and they offer a wide range of services. And you can find them at allthew's.globalmappingsurveys.co.uk. And remember, mention KopTalk and you get a discount. I don't know, they might give you about £7 off. I don't know. Might do the job in 7 days for you. I don't know. Get it done. We'll get it done. We'll say good evening to our early covers on the line there. Good evening, Demas, my son. Nice to have you. Good evening, Vinny. Nice to have you, mate. And I must say, a big shout goes out to James. Listen, that's a true gent, mate. A true supporter. Doesn't shim, doesn't hide. He comes on a reps his team. Win, lose. Win, draw, or battered. Doesn't matter. Nice to have you on board, sir. Welcome. Good big shout goes out to Mr. Pred. How are we doing, sir?
I had a couple of cans of 7-Up earlier on. I'm on seventh cloud. Any other sevens out there I can put on there, I'll put on there.
I think there's going to be a few of them tonight, mate. Trust me. How are we doing, Stoney?
Do you know, I'm fine. Good evening, Preds. Good evening, RT, and good evening, James. Everybody else for tuning in for this week's edition of KopTalk. Just looking forward to the energy and everything good about speaking about Liverpool versus Man United.
Okay, good evening. We've been joined by a Pleaky Blinder, and I think we just need 2 more people, and that will make it 7. We've got 5 in the chat at the moment. How are we doing, Mr. R&B? How are we doing, sir?
I'm actually good. I just want to say that my favorite, R&B artist, Craig David, made an amazing song.
7 days.
Would you say about Craig David? Would you say about Craig David in 7 days?
Well, like he could have took the girl out on Monday. Be like, whatever he had to do Tuesday, Wednesday, he chill. Thursday, Friday, you know what I mean, and then Sunday, boy.
Oh, Sunday was a wrap.
It was a wrap.
I need backup, man.
But listen, I did speak to Mr. B. He said he was going to be here beforehand.
Can I just say, right, that I went on Man United agenda last weekend on my Jack Jones last weekend. So listen, you're all right. Don't worry. I'll treat you the same way you guys treated me last time.
And we got good evening, Mr. Bingy. How we doing, sir? Mr. Solo from the Man United agenda has asked us to kindly switch the show off. Solo, I think this one might be a bit extra long. Oh, look, there's 7 people currently in the chat as well at the moment. I wonder if that's Gakpo twice, Nunes twice, Salah twice, and Firmino. I wonder.
You never know. You never know.
Okay, well, we'll wait and see if Mr. B turns up. We'll see if he's got the cojones, isn't it? Because he did say he was going to be here. We'll see. You know what I mean? You have to have a word with your brother, Stoney, man. It's
I think so.
Not good look, man. And you watched the game with him, didn't you?
I did. You know what was so good? Obviously, Mr. B joined us on our show pre-Manchester United, pre-Liverpool versus Manchester United. And I was happy to say that I actually watched the game live with Mr. B and a good friend of mine, Chopper, who's also a Manchester United supporter. And I would say it was very frosty in my friend's chopper home. Do you know the silence from the Manchester United supporters? Oh, goodness gracious. I mean, that was the closest that I was all of the years with my older brother. That was the closest period of time that it was to him actually hitting me over a game of football. It was absolutely beautiful experience, I will say. Beautiful experience.
What excuses are they making now? Saying he's stressing about a 4-1 win at the moment. They beat these bunch of jokers. This Betis team 4-1 in this Mickey Mouse Cup. You know what I mean? And that's what he's bothered about right now. Are you serious? Come to where the big boys are at, son. Come and see where the big boys are at. Okay, so we will let's run through this team very, very swiftly, so we can get onto the meat on the bones. All right. Yeah. Let's have a rating for Trent, gentlemen.
I'm gonna give Trent a 7.6.
Stoney?
0.6. I'm gonna give him an 8.1.
Okay, and Tabrice?
I'm gonna give Trent a 9.
Okay, and James Darlow.
Trent, I'll give 0.
Say 0.
Darlow, I'll give -10.
Oof.
Woof.
Goodness.
Woof.
It just proved today, man. Like, he was playing first half today. I know you're not talking about today's game, but he was playing first half today. He got taken off. Wan-Bissaka come on, and we scored 3 goals straight away. It's like, there's the proof there, man.
Wow.
Okay, Konate. Preds, in your own time, son.
Konate, 9.5.
Stoney.
6.8.
Okay. And Tabrice?
If I've given Trent a 9, I've got to give Konate, and I've got to give him a 9.
Okay.
Right.
And Martinez, James.
I'd say 4.8.
4.8. Okay. VVD.
4.8.
Oh, actually, Artie, we
Yeah.
like to do something right now
Huh?
in terms of the time.
Well done, son. We're 7 minutes in. So we're going to show up.
Oh.
Well done, Tabrice. Well done, son. Well done. Bingy said he's giving everybody a 7.7. That works for me, son. That works for me. Konate.
Have we done Konate, haven't we?
No, that's what we just did now. Oh, sorry, VVD.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, VVD. I'd give 9.8.
Wow, 9.8. You know. Okay. Stoney.
6.9.
Okay.
What did you give?
6.9 for Virgil.
Why are you blowing smoke for, bruv?
I'm going to elaborate on those things afterwards. You know me already, man.
Yeah, I know.
I've got to give VVD a 9.
Okay. Varane, James.
I'll go 5.5. Only because I think he lost his head.
We'll get back to that. Hold on a minute. Why is Mr. B in my comments but not live on the show?
I know.
What is that about? Why are you in my comments, bro, and not on the show?
Bro, I need help, man. Please.
Yeah, James needs a bit of backup, bro.
Yes.
You know what? Leave James alone. Leave him. We don't need no more Man United. It's okay.
Robbo,
I'll give Robbo a 9.8.
9.8. Okay. Stoney.
8.5 for Robbo. Because he got one of the assists. 8.5.
Tabrice.
9.5.
Okay, 9.5. Okay, Luke Shaw.
3.5.
Oof.
No, I'd say honestly, I'd say about 4.8, 4.9.
Okay. Elliot.
Elliot, I'll give 8.5.
5. Stoney.
Same thing, 8.5, because obviously Elliot played as well as Robbo when he got the assist. So 8.5 for Elliot.
Tabrice.
8.9.
8.9. Okay. Casemiro.
I've got
Take
to
a
give
deep
him.
breath, mate.
I've got to give him at least a 6, man. I can't really diss him. I've got to give him at least a 6.
6. Fabinho.
I'll give Fabinho. You know, I'm going to give Fabinho an 8.5, and I will also say that was probably his best game of the season.
Won't be too wrong there. Stoney.
7.2 for Fabinho.
Okay. And Tabrice.
I'll give him an 8.5.
Fred.
I'd say 4.5.
Hendo.
Oh, Hendo. What did I give Fabinho?
You gave him an 8.5.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Hendo 8.5 as well.
Okay.
No, you know what? I'm going to give 8. No, I'm going to give Hendo 8.6 because he done the cross for Nunes.
All right. 8.6. To Stoney.
8.3 for Henderson.
8.3.
He got the assist anyway for 8.3.
Tabrice.
8.8.
8. Anthony.
Oh. I'm not even exaggerating. 3.2 on that day.
Oof.
He had a shot on target.
That's
Yeah,
brutal.
but that's the one thing he had. Apart from that, nothing. He never chased back nothing. I won't get into it because it's too long.
Come on.
That is why you're here, by the way. That is why you're here.
Get into it, mate.
Salah.
I'm going to give Salah a 9 point. You know what? I was going to give him a 9.7, but I'm going to give him a 9.8 because he turned Martinez inside out, made the guy do a no-look defending. I've never seen that before. So I'm going to give him a 9.8.
Stoney.
Same thing. 2 assists, 2 goals. 9.6 for Salah. He sent Martinez to the shop, and Martinez went with no money and no debit card. 9.6 for Salah.
And still brought back change.
Exactly.
Hold on, 1 minute. 1 minute is here. Next injury.
Yeah, man of the match for me, Salah.
Tabrice.
9.9.
Okay. Weghorst.
I'm just putting it out there. I actually do think Salah is at least a 9.5, 9.6 on that day. I will put it out there, man. I mean, I hate Liverpool, but I will give him that. He was man of the match for me that day. I'll give him a 5.2. Weghorst.
5.2, yeah? Okay. Gakpo.
I'm going to give Gakpo a 9.
9. Okay. Stoney.
Yeah, same thing. I can't differ away from what Prezis says. 2 goals for Gakpo. I'm also giving him a 9 as well.
And Tabrice.
Yeah, 9.
Okay. Bruno.
Oh,
hold on a second. My face. My face.
Yeah, because of his childish performances, man. You can't really wear the captain's armband and show them performances. I'm giving him a 3.3.
2.3.
3.3.
Oh.
Himself tree.
All right, and last but not least, gentlemen. All right, Nunes.
Nunes. I'm going to give him a 9. I'm going to give him a 9.
Stoney.
Yeah. Mirror image of Preds. I think his performance was quite outstanding. Similar to Gapco, so I'm also giving him a 9 as well. Came away with a brace for us. 9 for Nunes.
And Tabrice.
I've got to give him a 9.3.
Okay. And Rashford.
I felt for Rashford, man. I felt for him. I'll give him a 6.2.
6.2. Okay. We're not going to bother doing the subs, gents. We won't do the subs. Bloody hell, I'll tell you, we've got quite a few comments in there. Cheese and bread. Okay.
Hold on for a second, Lee. Before you move on, mate, there are 11 players on the pitch, aren't there?
Alisson.
You got Alisson, yeah.
Alisson, I'll give him a 10.
A whole 10, yeah?
I'm giving Alisson a 10. What he done diligently. He kept a clean sheet, mate. Enormous. He mate, enormous, and made a great save from Rashford.
Mm.
All right, Stoney.
Ali, I'm going to give him a 7.9. Harsh. I know he kept a clean sheet, but you know, I'm still a bit hardcore with everybody here. I'm just going to keep it true. 7.9 to Alisson Becker.
Okay, and Tabrice.
You've got to give Alisson a 10, man. You know, clean sheet. Again, just so comfortable. I can't give him anything lower. It's got to be a 10.
All right, and De Gea.
See, I was gonna big him off. I was actually gonna big him off and be like, you know, like it's the defense in front of him, but you can't just let in 7 goals in the Premier League, man. So at least a 4, 3.9. Like, it's not entirely his fault, but
in fairness to the guy, I don't think there was a goal that he was responsible for, and it was one of those. I've been there as a goalkeeper, and you've been on the back end of a hiding, and like you've not done anything wrong, but all of a sudden you've let all these goals in. So I feel for him in the goalkeeping union terms.
I feel for him. I think there was, for me, from what I saw, I think there was only one goal maybe he's supposed to have done better with, and that was the one Gakpo scored.
Yeah.
From the angle, I think he should have done better with that one, to be fair, because I don't know how Gakpo managed to get that in from there.
No, Gakpo, when you
other than that, them other chances, there was nothing he could have done, man.
Yeah. Well, Bobby's goal as well. You know, very very tight angle. You wouldn't really expect like his caliber to be beat like that.
Harsh. I think the Gakpo one, Gakpo's taken it very very well, and as any forward being coached, they always get told you always go across the goalkeeper, and plus there was a couple of players in front of De Gea as well, who Gakpo used as a bit of a used them as well to bend that ball in the corner of the net. So a bit harsh on De Gea. I think it was a good finish.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before we continue, lads, let me just get some of these questions out of the way because this is running quick and fast in there, right? So yes, bigger shouts goes out to Ravi. He says, "Big up your chest, rude boys." Of course, Mr. B says, "You man's mocking the 7-minute applause." And he's got the cheek to tell me what he's eating. I hope it's humble pie you're eating. Yeah? I hope that's a big slice of humble pie, son. Yeah, remember that. I had some questions for you. I'm disappointed you're not here. Question: how do you see us keeping this consistency up after beating United?
Great question.
Great question, guys.
Joe says, "Christ, James, you're brave."
Thank you.
Solo says, "Mr. B, you don't need to be on this corruption show."
Wow.
It's all coming out tonight, I tell you. Oh my days. All right, so you know what? We will ask that question though. All right, shortly we will answer that question about how do you think we keep up the consistency. But let's just quickly run through the top boy marks, why you gave Salah the scores. He did 9.8, 9.6, and 9.9. Those were the highest marks so far. So what would you say? What was so different about Salah? Because I know not too long ago there were certain discussions about selling him and accepting that money for him, lads.
Well, you know what? I will step up and say I was one of those people who said that purely because he's our talisman, and I felt he hasn't stood up enough and he hasn't contributed enough in respect of being that that leader on the pitch. But all credit to him. He's played against Man United this weekend and he's played out of his skin, and it's back to how we see his performances, or who we have been seeing his performances over the last few years. So fair play, and I'm always happy for me to coat off one of the players for them to then put in a performance to shut me up. Happy with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I understand. You know, yeah, and literally, I was one of those people as well.
We had a game of great importance at home. Salah's come away with 2 goals, 2 assists against a team that going into this game had been playing very, very, very well. As you said, to come away with 2 goals and 2 assists, I think he warranted my 9-point assist. So credit to Salah there.
Okay.
And for me, the reason why I gave him a 9.9, right? Was it?
Yeah.
Again, he Martinez probably one of United's better defenders. Had a torrid time. Of course, everyone kind of knows that kind of little skill, and again, that's kind of instinct. And his second goal, again, out of pure instinct with his weaker foot as well.
A cracking strike.
It was a cracking strike. So that's the reason why I gave him a 9.9.
Okay. And James, you gave Casemiro a 6 and Rashford a 6.2. Those are your 2 high scoring players. Why just them 2? What was it about them 2?
I felt sorry for Rashford because you could see he didn't deserve that. Like, I really don't think he deserved that. He wasn't.
But then he should have taken the chance to put you lot one up.
Yeah, he should have. Yeah, but everyone's entitled to miss a chance. Everyone's human. Do you know what I mean? Like, it happens. I just don't think that he deserved that bad of a loss, if that makes sense. And Casemiro, I don't want to diss him because he's been our rock all this season. That's the only reason why he got the points high.
It's funny because in the ratings, gentlemen, the people who actually got the worst ratings for Liverpool. Let me see. Can you guess one, Tabrice? Who got the worst ratings?
I got a feeling that they'll probably say Fab. It's probably our midfield.
Okay. And Stoney?
Sorry, Liverpool's worst ratings, yeah?
Yeah. Who do you think that was?
Probably for Fabinho and Konate.
Okay. And Preds?
Well, I'm going to say Trent because everyone picks on Trent.
Okay. Now, well, you're wrong there, Preds. You're wrong there.
Okay.
Hendo, Elliott, Fabs, and Konate. And it's funny how you lot have given Konate a 9 and that, but they gave him one of the worst ratings. I was quite surprised by that as well.
That's what I was saying. For me, Konate would have been one of the players that probably had one of the lowest ratings. Fabinho and Konate for me.
I think regarding our midfield, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we, scoring 6 in 1.5. Yes, we absolutely blitzed United, but also you have to look at the United team and think they just didn't turn up. And everything that we were doing or every shot that we were taking on target was going in. It's just, it was one of those freaky games. So yeah, I'm not surprised that our midfield probably got the lowest.
And James, who do you think was the ones who got the lowest for your team?
Probably Fred or Bruno.
Darlow, Weghorst, Shaw, Fred, and Bruno was the ones who got the lowest ratings for your team. And it's funny you should say that to Brees, because you're right. We had 18 shots, we had 8 on target. We scored 7 goals. And United had 8 shots, 4 on target.
I didn't even know we had that many shots.
Okay, so gentlemen, as going out to the Liverpool boys, was you surprised at the starting lineup? Because we'd spoken previously on the Thursday about Elliot not really being a midfielder and not starting him, and also I think it was, I don't know if anybody else agreed, but I was saying I didn't want him to start Gakpo because I felt like he was lazy and whatever, wasn't putting in the graft. But he started and he did what he needed to do. So was any of you surprised by that lineup though?
I have to be really honest with myself. I think with the starting lineup, I didn't have Harvey Elliott in my starting lineup. I did have Henderson and Fabinho, but I had a question mark. I was unsure who was the third midfielder, so I was unsure. Similarly with Robbo, I had Trent, I had Kanate, I had Van Dijk. I had a question mark because I thought Tsimikas was going to play. So yeah, I had a question mark over Elliott and a question mark over Robbo.
Okay, I remember them two. I'm sure I remember Preds definitely was saying Robbo's got to start. You say
I think,
Robbo has to start. Big boy game and that. A lot of people were surprised that no Bajcetic, but do you think that game came a bit too early for him? Big derby game like that. I think it came too early.
I think what they're trying to do, they're trying to look after the youngsters. I mean, if you look at it, Elliott's played quite a lot of games as for a youngster for us this season, and Stefan's played quite a few games in a short space of time. So I should imagine that I actually expected Stefan to start and not Harvey Elliott, but I can see why he chose Harvey Elliott, and we got our just desserts from regards to the selection. But I'm not surprised our midfield 3 are probably got the lowest marking, because I did say last week, like, our midfield is not a hotbed of creativity. Our midfield's all about the workmen, the work they put in, the closing distances, they're working so well together that when they do get the ball, they just give it to Gakpo, or they gave it to Nunez, or they gave it to Salah quite early and very direct. And I love that about us. Love that.
So was you surprised at all by your lineup, James? Or is that what you expected?
I didn't expect Fred to start, or I expected Wan-Bissaka and Sabitzer.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only two that really I expected different.
Okay. So Vinny says, which is a question that I was going to ask, was that game about Man U being really bad or LFC being out of this world, or somewhere in the middle?
I'm always going to give plaudits to Liverpool. We made them look. If people are saying, was Man United that bad, then it was all credit to Liverpool players who made them look that bad. Because the form guide coming into this game, Man United were on a good form. So you've got to check it. Look at the form that Man United had coming into, and even their colleague Mr. B was saying like he was feeling quite confident coming into this, and I didn't blame them because of the run that they were on.
So was I.
So I truly believe that once we scored that second goal, we upped it 2 gears. We kept our foot on the pedal, and we just kept going for them, and I loved it because that's what we'd done when we was at our best. When we smelt blood, we kept going for it. We didn't back away. We kept going. And like Tabri said, every chance ended up in the goal. And it was one of those great games that it happened. So yeah, I believe that Liverpool made them look that bad.
And Tabrice, what do you reckon?
I think no one would have guessed that result. United were really bad. United were really bad. But of course, Casemiro had a goal disallowed. Fernandes had a header just wide, which I thought that was in as well. Rashford had a chance as well in the first half. So the first half was kind of evenly poised. Football is a very strange game. Man United were
margins, isn't it?
United were really bad. We were just really good, and again, everything that we were doing, it just we were just executing time after time after time. Again, if we've taken 8 shots on goal and 7 have gone in, you can't ask for anything more.
Incredible odds. James, what do you reckon then? Were you not just that bad, or were we that good?
No, I don't think it was either. Like, obviously, yeah, we were shocking. We did play shocking, but that don't warrant a 7-0. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just a freak. It was a freak game. You don't really hear about big teams getting beat 7-0 by other big teams because it don't really happen.
Well, I just want to kind of put in or interject. But you deserve to lose 7 because after 3, you would expect the manager or your senior player to say, okay, you know what, let's just kind of be like solid for like the next 5 to minutes. If you lose by 7, you deserve to lose by 7.
Yeah, I agree by that. Like, it's not like we had a bad game. We had a bad 45 minutes. Like, the first 45, I'll be honest with you, I went into the half time thinking quite confident, like, oh, we can come away with a win or even a draw. Like, and then as soon as that second half whistle went, I don't know who he sent out, but it was kids. It just kids. Like, and it was just embarrassing.
But you guys still had a bad game. Like, it's not a bad 45 minutes. It's still a bad game.
Well, no, the first half was good, so it wasn't a bad full game. It was just a bad 45 minutes.
No, but like, you don't split the first half and the second half into different sections.
It's a game of 2 halves. That's what the saying says, isn't it? It's a game of 2 halves.
Like, I'm on my own here, man. Come on, give me something.
You know what? I know what. I'll come to your age, guys. Right? In all fairness, right? Man United had me a little bit shaky in the first 25 minutes. Well, not the first 10 minutes. We came out with our usual gusto, but then it seemed like Man United soaked it all up, and then all of a sudden they started stringing passes together, and then they started finding little holes. And like you said, great ball in from who was a boy? Great ball for Bruno, and Bruno got to score that. He's got to get on target. But you say about finding the margins. If that goes in, how is Liverpool going to respond? How would Liverpool respond? Again, the ball in from Shaw into Rashford, gilt-edged chance. That's a chance. If that goes in,
can I ask you all one question? If this was played at Old Trafford, what would it be a different game?
That's hindsight, mate. We can't answer that, mate.
Yeah,
because
but we've we've beaten you convincingly at Trafford as well. So it doesn't matter where we go. We just humiliate you. We just humiliate you.
And we love doing it.
Next question.
Hold on. I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving it.
Stoney's been waiting patiently. Stoney, were we that good? Were they that bad?
First of all, credit for James for actually coming on to the show as well. I think
100%.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just going to put it out there. I think prior to this game, I think I have put it down as a 2-1 win for Liverpool. Yeah, the game turned. But you know what? Something else. I was really happy at the performance anyway, right? But there were some things that I just want to put out there actually going into this performance as well, all right? So I think we had, let me try and get my head around this. We'd beaten Everton in February 2-0. We'd beaten Newcastle 2-0 in February going into this game. Real Madrid came away with a performance. We had kept a clean sheet against Crystal Palace in February. We had also kept a clean sheet against Wolves again. You're right. Another clean sheet against Wolves going into this game. And then obviously we had the performance against Manchester United for this performance as well. So it was coming. I think if anybody had predicted a 7-0 against Manchester United, listen, I was happy. 7-0 against Man United, it would have been fabricated. I think I would have seen anybody's betting slips. They would have been lying coming into this game against Man United. So look, I'd been happy. Had it been coming on performances, yes. Had it been coming on a goal prediction, no. So, yeah, listen, I was just happy. But anybody that would have predicted a 7-0 against Man United, personally, I think would have been lying, personally.
Okay. I'm going to say good evening to the Sesame Street Kid. Big shouts goes to you. Nice to have you on board. Bingy says he did warrant a 10. He also slipped up with the contract of the ball. No way he gets a 10. I'd give him a 7.5. Must be talking about Alisson there. Yeah, he's talking about Alisson because Sesame Street because he gives him a 9.7. You're not saying he kept a clean sheet, but so did our defense.
Hey, listen, I'm just looking after
very
my
hard
boy.
To keep a clean sheet if they weren't there, lads.
Yeah, but I'm just looking after my my boy Ali, innit? Because he's won us so many points. He's not lost us any.
And Sesame Street gave De Gea a 0.7.
0.7.
Oh my days! I'm loving this.
Jeez.
Oh yes, keep the clean sheets, mate. Keep the clean sheets. I'm telling you. Hold on a minute, Bingy. I'd still sell him. Who? Bingy, please let me know who you're talking about, please.
I think he's talking about Salah.
It's Salah.
Talking about Salah.
Yeah,
I reckon.
Salah, yeah. Salah's always done well against United. He has. He does like playing against United, I must say.
Can we play you every week? Can we play you? Can we play you? Can
Good
we play
evening,
you every week?
Stephen McDonough, good evening, good evening, good evening. He's back again, he's back.
I needed you earlier.
Martinez is still looking the wrong way, trying to find Salah. Yeah, you're right. Rashford's stats have been insane this season, but maybe you should have saved some of them goals for this game.
Wished he did. I so wished he did.
Here we go. You got some support, James, man. You look, we win together, we lose together, we are united. You got some support in the comments, you know what I mean? I don't tell you he's still eating, because that's one big plate of food, bro. Yeah, all now. You can't reach, brother. All now.
I'll be honest with you, right? I haven't told no one this apart from John in the comments. But after the 5th goal went in, I turned it off and put PlayStation on. I didn't watch no more.
That's fair.
When you put the PlayStation on, did you play Liverpool Man United?
No, I actually played online seasons, and I was Man United, and it was against Man City, and I lost 5-2, and I turned that off as well.
Everywhere you go, you couldn't escape it.
United, everywhere they go.
The Sesame Street Kid says that Konate is all power, no finesse. He worries a man when he's on the ball. Ooh.
You know what? That's actually. You know what? I think fair due to the Sesame Street Kid. I think I wouldn't have looked at Ibrahima having such a dire performance. I think, yeah, that would have been harsh. I think in previous games moving up to this, he's my Martial Desailly. Did he have an amazing game? No. Yeah, I'm just putting it out here. Did he have an amazing game? No. Did he warrant any form of critique? My game or my performance would have been no as well. I think I'd have given him a 7.6. But listen, he's still learning. He's a young player, and everybody is entitled to their own opinion. So I am not going to belittle the comment that was actually put in the box there at all. I'm not going to.
Okay. So Reese, what do you reckon about that?
I think that's a bit unfair because he played well against Villarreal last season, and he was very comfortable on the ball. Then I think it's purely because it's like because of his size. You know, of course, it's not a Van Dijk that just looks so elegant, and you know he can swan here and actually a swan there. But again, yeah, you know what, Stoney, you're absolutely right. He is our potentially Desai, potentially. You know, such a young player, being in big games for like Liverpool. And again, you know, against a sworn enemy, I thought he played pretty well. And of course, United did have their chances, which you would expect. But again, keeping a clean sheet. And yeah, I think that's our 5th clean sheet as well. You know?
Yeah.
You have to give him props.
Have to. James, I've got one for you. So, Weghorst touching the Anfield sign was a violation, even if he was a childhood Liverpool fan.
To be fair, I've never seen another player from an opposite team touch the Anfield sign.
Sorry, James, I can't hear you.
Hello, can you hear me?
That's better now, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen another player touch the sign. Down I don't think I've ever seen it to try and intimidate anyone. And yeah, I get it. He's trying to put off his national teammate, but you've just made yourself look like a complete dick in the same sense. Because now we've lost 7-0, and it looks like you're supporting him.
He's a childhood Liverpool fan. What you have to remember is, after this season, he will no longer be at United, no doubt. They're going to keep him, and he'll probably end up in another league, which means he may never get the chance to be at Anfield again.
True.
Well, he could easily go on a stadium tour. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. But
violation there.
Does that bother you though, James? Does that bother you that he did that?
Me personally, no. I mean, I think I would. If I was there, I'd try and use a bit of intimidation. Whether it'll work or not, I don't know. Like, hopefully, my luck, I'd do it. We lose 17-0.
So, James, your backup's I think your backup's off, mate. He says, "Take care, guys. Great show as always." He's had it up. He's off. He's
Cheers,
off.
Johnny.
Ingy says Elliot was the only player he thought that wouldn't start. Hey, big shouts goes out to the teacher. Big shouts, Teach. Big Teach, nice to have you on board, sir. I know Big Teach must have enjoyed that one. I know he must have enjoyed it, mate. If they were looking after the youngsters, where's Carvalho been?
Yeah, that's a fair point.
Got to be honest. I know it's like we're saying about the youngsters, but if he isn't doing anything in training, what to warrant that starting berth, then he's just got to take his time. Well, he's just got to wait his turn. And when he gets his turn, he's just got to then thingy. That's part and parcel of football.
Very, very true. Okay, all right. With that, though, saying that, rather than having him there stagnate, do you think it'd be a good idea to have him out on loan, so at least he can be getting games?
With the squad that we've had, and the injuries, that it's probably better that he didn't go out.
No. Saying that, think about it. We've had injuries, and he's still not really coming to replace anybody.
Yeah, I was just about to say that.
So that's neither here nor there. When we had those injuries, he came in, I could say fair enough, but he hasn't.
I think Carvalho is a long-term project. I think it's a case of that he's not going to send him out on loan. He wants him to learn the fundamentals of how Liverpool play. Like I said, he's a good player, but has Klopp's not seen enough of him? Sorry, in training, has Klopp not seen him do enough to warrant that starting berth? We can't just give him a starting berth because he's done really well and he's a good talent. He's got to then prove it, like Harvey has had to, like every other youngster in the country has to prove that they warrant a starting berth. If he hasn't played, then my only conclusion is he hasn't done enough to warrant a starting place.
I think the only comparison I can think of is Phil Foden, and literally when the media talked about Foden and if Foden should go out on loan, Pep said no because his development at City with Silva, I think Yaya wasn't still there, De Bruyne. Pep said he will learn more from those players than going out on loan. Yeah. I think because the media haven't said nothing about Carvalho, we don't actually know why. If it is like the same thing that Foden went through, or if it is we've not seen enough of him to actually warrant a starting place. So I think that's a question I would love to hear Klopp answer.
Definitely, I would love that. Bingy says if Bajcetic can play against Real, he can definitely start against Muggs.
I think yes and no, he could do, but it's Klopp's choice and decision to rotate him, and that's the way that Klopp's picking the side. He's the one who makes those decisions. But he's definitely good enough to play against Man United. He's good enough to play against anyone with the form he's shown.
Stoney, what do you reckon?
Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna put any shade on anybody. I'm still happy with our signing for Carvalho. Leading up to this game, he hasn't put in a performance to warrant him to actually start. So I would always have had Harvey Elliott over Carvalho as well. Going out on loan, no. We got a young player that we've actually purchased from Fulham. I think he's there trying to apply his trade, and there's no rush. Absolutely no rush at all. He's a player for the future.
Definitely one for the future for me. Good evening goes out to Soshi as well. It says, evening, chaps. Nice to have you on board. Sesame Street Kid says he has creativity. What's going on there? Talking about Carvalho again. And then he says it was Klopp's changes at half-time on playing longer balls through and overloading exposed Casemiro. Another Klopp masterclass.
Can we just rewind that? There was, sorry, I do apologize. Somebody put in a comment about Casemiro, RT, was that?
Yeah, about the overloading and exposed Casemiro.
This is quite interesting about the game against Man United with Casemiro, all right? I'm probably about, give or take, I remember just put in the comments, probably about 17 minutes, Casemiro was rubbing his Achilles. He was rubbing his calf after about 17 minutes. All right. So we have no idea what's actually happened to Casemiro in this game here. Man United played that 4-2-3-1 for whatever reason. All right. Liverpool's positive performance, an indifference performance by Man United. Casemiro wasn't in the game at all. This was an opportunity for him to shine, and he didn't. I'm not going to belittle Casemiro. This was just not his game today. If we're looking at Brazilian performances in terms of central midfields, Fabinho had a good game. Casemiro didn't. Fred didn't. Just wasn't Casemiro's game. It's just
You know what?
simple as
I'm gonna chuck smoke on him, mate. The guy
Please
was
do.
shook, bruv. The guy was shook. The guy was shook. And you know, sometimes with footballers, yeah, when they're playing the game and they can see that this is not working, this is not going to be my day, they try and take an easy way out. You know, I've pulled up.
Like Bruno looking at the bench to be subbed?
Yeah, there you go. Like
Captain,
your captain's in the middle of the park and he's putting his hands up to the manager as to why you're not taking me off.
Oh, look at the time. Oh, God. I'm so
Casemiro didn't fancy it, mate, and that's it.
What is that about, James, eh?
Oh, mate.
Why not me?
See, as a captain, I really find that immature. I find it immature as a professional player anyway. Like, to throw your hands in the air like a kid, you know? Like, come on, man. You're meant to be professional in your industry. At least act up to it. Like, you're having a bad day, own it. Own that bad day. Don't throw your arms blaming everyone else, man. You can't. It's your fault. Just admit it, like. And with Casemiro, it's scary. It is scary going to Anfield, man. With all that crowd, mate. I was scared from the TV, man. I just watched it from TV, just hearing the crowd, let alone being there on that pitch. And every touch
hearing that you'll never walk alone. Jeez.
And you know what? That's a bit of a sore subject for me because that's my nan's song. And every time I've heard, like, I play it on my Spotify, and every time it comes on, I have to skip it. Now, I can't quite listen to it just yet.
Okay, so Bingy says, I think Muggs thought they had the game won before the game was played, as we've done in the past, and that's what cost them.
Yeah, we did. I think we went there with that attitude as well. We've won this before we touched on the pitch, and then we were so surprised with the reaction for some reason.
But James, are you surprised that, like, on the back of that, you answering that, are you surprised in respect of that the manager, in what he's done this season and got your team to where they are now, and the mindset that he gives from outside in? Are you surprised that the players turned up with that attitude?
Yeah, in the sense of it, I don't think Eric would have had that attitude, like that philosophy to go there and you've won this already. He would have treated, I would assume, he would have treated it like it's an important game, like it's a cup game. It's the biggest rivalry of England, I believe, Man United, Liverpool. So it's something that you have to treat like a cup final every single time, no matter where you are.
But also as well, I think that's Ten Hag's first outing at Anfield, right? As
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It might be. Is it first time at
First
Anfield
time
ever?
Yeah.
As
First time,
United,
James.
as United manager.
Wow.
Yeah, you're right. First time.
He's been there with Ajax, isn't he?
But that's a different
Oh, is
proposition.
he?
Yeah, no, he's been there with Ajax, but not with first time with United though.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So and we've all watched the Amazon programs with Man City and Arsenal, and we always talk about the kind of Anfield crowd, and and again we like talking about Pep and Arteta respectively. So again, I think maybe Ten Hag also got swept under with the red wave, and he was thinking, what am I gonna do here? So
I'm gonna drown under the red wave. That's I'm gonna drown me. The teacher, Big Teach, says United are average and have been lucky.
No, I completely disagree with that.
Big statement.
Wow.
Big statement.
Wow.
Then he goes on to say that Liverpool have been poor. However, we're still a better team than United. 4-0, 5-0, 7-0.
Have a laugh, would you?
So would anybody agree with that? Of lately, how long was that winning run for, James? United's winning run. How long have they been unbeaten for?
What, this season?
Yeah, just now. 9
nine games in it, or 19 games or 9 games, something like that.
19.
Is it 19? Yeah, was it 9? Yeah, we had 9 games, and then we lost to City. Then we had another 9 games. Yeah, 18 games altogether.
So would anybody class that as lucky? Teacher said that was lucky.
No. Listen. You know what? I'll be honest, and I said, you know, all credit for you actually coming on the show. Top man, absolutely top man. I have a dislike for Man United, but absolutely top man to you for coming on the show. I think there's a bigger picture with what Ten Hag's actually done for Man United, and all credit due to him as well. It's a long-term project. Nobody's ever going to be able to replace what Sir Alex Ferguson's actually done for Man United as well. So I think this game, personally, it was a blip. I'm glad that the result. I'm glad what we actually done for Man United. But in terms of what it's actually going to do in terms of the rest of your season, that's not going to derail you guys. It's not going to derail the project that Ten Hag's actually coming to do with for Manchester United. I think what is actually done, and I'm not actually gloating with actually saying this, I think when you guys, I'm not talking about specific players here, right? So when you guys obviously purchased Bruno, he actually hit the ball running when he actually come from Sporting Lisbon.
He sure did.
And if he, you know, if he's had an indifferent performance against Liverpool, it doesn't mean that he's a bad player. I'm just putting it out there. That's just my personal opinion, right?
Of course, yeah.
See, it's all that United
I think
talk.
Martinez is an amazing player as well.
I know.
It's all right, you're back. It's all that United talk, Stoney. You know what I mean? He's got used to it.
And also similarly with Martinez as well. He got the smoke with Salah. Doesn't mean that he's a bad player. Hand on heart, I actually hope that Liverpool pass Manchester United and we end up in a far superior position than Man United this season. But as I said, this game does not define what Manchester United are what Ten Hag is attempting to do with Man United. It's just one of those things. I'm happy that we're going to be in the record books of humbling you guys. I'm happy that moving forward, any future games Manchester United actually have at Anfield, this is going to be very, very, very heavy on any players that actually come there in the future. But it's not going to define the season, personally.
No, yeah, to be fair, I think he did actually smash it. It's not going to define the season. And I think, if anything, yous had more to lose if you lost than what we did.
Very true.
If that makes sense. Because if yous would have lost, I can't see how you were going to get that upstep before that Real Madrid game, because you need all the confidence you could get to go to that. Like,
not only that, and plus going for top 4 as well.
Yeah, of course, yeah, and that battle. But yeah, I don't think we've lost much. If anything, I think it's done us a favour in a sense of it. I know it sounds really cliche, obviously, because we've lost and all this, but it's done us a favour because it's made the players think, listen, you're not unbeatable. You are still beatable. You need to, like, if you don't get this in form, he sent this exactly the same team out tonight to play in the Europa League, and a few changes half time and all that, but I can see a huge difference already. Like, so,
well, because you weren't playing against a red wave, mate. That's why.
Of course, you weren't angry. You hear me? That's why. You get me? Here we go. So Breeze brought me here. Yeah.
Another one in his bandwagon.
Another one of yours to Breeze, yeah?
Breeze is getting a bit of a following out here, isn't he?
It's all of that dance. To Breeze, it's all of that midweek dancing in it. To Breeze,
you know what? I just want to shout out again to like James, to Sesame Street Kid, to like Johnny. They are kind of like pillars of my like social like media platforms. Always like talking about football. Always fair banter. You know, like it goes back and forth. So big shout out to that.
Good shout, good stuff. The teacher. Again, big Teach. What's Teach on, man? Teach says sell everyone. And keep Klopp. There has been a lot of talk, gentlemen. A lot of talk in one of my WhatsApp groups, which I'm part of with Teach, Vinny, and that as well. And the talk is basically they'd still sell Salah, they'd sell Jota, get rid of Gomez. Blah. Listen, basically, we wouldn't have a team if it was down to them man there right now. Yeah? I'm not hearing no replacements, but I'm hearing sell this one, sell that one, sell this one, sell that one. So there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of talk about that right now. So there's a massive talk about a 60+ million bid being made for Jota, and basically everyone has agreed, yeah, let him go. I don't think there's only one other person who said no, don't let him go.
Why is it? It's a strange thing, right? I know that finance wise with Liverpool, and we're just speaking about the Premiership, right? I know that finance wise, our clubs Liverpool may not have a squad in as much depth as some other teams. But why is it that we have? And I'm just giving examples, all right? Moving away from, regardless of what his performance is or what people think about him, right? I'm just putting that out there. Why is it that Manchester United can probably have a player like Harry Maguire that was purchased for a lot of money from Leicester that's not playing, right? Doesn't have to be sold, but it's okay him staying there. Same thing with Lindelof, same thing with Martial. And Jones that can stay there, and it's not an issue that don't need to be moved on, right? However, there's an issue that some people may then feel that Gomez or Jota do not tick the boxes and they have to then move on. Why can they not then just be part of the squad and Liverpool then purchase other players to make our squad much stronger? Why is it that we always constantly have to sell in order to bring somebody else? I understand we don't have the finance of a Man City or a Chelsea or possibly a Newcastle or somewhere along those lines there. But why is it that people feel, as an example, Gomez has to go or Jota has to go in order for us to bring in?
I think that's exactly answering your own question. Basically, I think it's because of that, because of the finance reason why. They know that we can't afford to have them players on their big wages just sitting down collecting dough like Phil Jones, especially Phil Jones, because he hasn't played since flipping Gabici and Farrers with him, bro. Do you understand? So that's right. Differently, like, all right, Martial, he's out because he's injured. He would be involved in the squad at least. He would be playing. So that's different. But you can't just have players sitting down there collecting 250 bags a week and they're not. No.
But you know, to those people in your forum, RTL, I would say this.
Before that, I'm sorry. Before that though, I wasn't one of those to sell Jota though.
No problem.
I would keep him. Sorry, I would keep him.
I would say this as well. Jota's only just returning back to form. He's only just returning back to form.
Yeah,
exactly.
And you know what he was like beforehand. He got like, I think it was last season, was it 21 goals or something like that?
Yeah.
You don't just throw them players away. Because they're not.
I'm just putting it out there. I think Jota, and he's like, when he's on point, probably one of the best Premier League strikers there probably will be.
And he's not even an out-and-out striker.
He will be the best forward you will have, Jota.
He's won me over, to be fair, Jota. He came in, wasn't to us, to other Liverpool supporters, he wasn't a big major signing, was he? He done all right at Wolverhampton, but when he's come into Liverpool, and one, it's just his work rate and his enthusiasm, his energy, kind of made him fit into the Liverpool squad quite well. And then all of a sudden you're seeing all these bits of quality, you're thinking, oh, hold on for a second, I didn't know he can do that.
How much did you pay for him?
40 mil.
40, 50 mil?
But yeah, about
40 mil. 40 mil.
Because he wasn't cheap, really, though, was he?
No. I mean, if you think about the nowadays with strikers or inside forwards, they like to say, that's relatively quite a cheap purchase.
Now it is. But back then it wasn't.
But now his value's going up. I think his value in not only in the monetary terms, but I think his value within the squad has gone up. And you can see little bits and pieces when he's been playing and his maturity comes out and he's talking to the young lads while they're on the pitch. And I think you've got so much more to see from Jota. Touch wood.
All right. Before we move on then quickly, lads. So Brees, Sell or keep? Jota. 60 million.
You keep Jota.
Stoney. Sell or keep Jota? 60 million.
Keep.
Preds.
Get rid of him, mate. Get 60.
After that big speech, yeah.
Get the money and run. No, I'll keep him. Keep him.
Yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. I keep, and he's what, 25?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm keeping that, bro. I'm keeping that. 100%. I'm keeping that. What is he? What does Sesame say? He says Bruno thinks he's a bird. Always flapping his arms trying to fly.
It was like he was part of Sesame Street.
Get in the air, mate. You might get shot down. I still think it was Klopp's tactics. Casemiro is a big baller for Real Madrid, the best bodyguard in the world, as he described himself. So he's trying to say basically Klopp decided to miss him out, basically, yeah?
Exactly.
All or nothing. Arsenal playing, you'll never walk alone at training before coming to Anfield.
Yeah, that was on the show. That was on
Crystal
that show.
Palace did that as well.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace did that.
Where the teams have done that.
A lot of teams. A lot of teams.
What's Teak saying now? United believe their own hype. Did they forget? Someone says they agreed with Stoney.
That's a first.
This is another Leicester season.
That doesn't relate to.
What?
City, Liverpool, Chelsea, all in transition.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
I agree.
We've got another new face on as well. Good big shouts goes out to Mark Minotti. Thanks for joining us. Frank, another one of Tabrice's again. What? Tabrice, we might have to give you some commission, Tabrice, mate.
Tabrice is going to be free entry to the club, and when you're singing on the stage, there's only no fee from us.
What did he say? Can't believe Tabrice left the Simon Jordan of TikTok out.
Yeah, you know, Mark is very controversial, but like in a kind of positive way. So like watch out for Mark's questions and comments.
No problem.
Excellent.
Biggie said it's good money, but I wouldn't sell Jota. Okay, I like that. Let's see. Here we go. Teach is on one today, boy. I'm telling you. FSG model: sell to buy. It will be until we get investors before players pop down and lose value. Get rid, use the money, and rebuild.
Okay.
That's going back to what you were saying, Stoney.
Yeah.
There. But it's very true though that like we're getting down to the fact of like having to lose Firmino for nothing. Firmino's going to leave on a free. Naby Keita's going to leave on a free. Ox will leave on a free. These are all players that we have to replace, and then we're not going to be replacing them on a free.
But you know what? A word that's been bandied about, and I've really highlighted, kind of heard it since Sunday. And every time someone's speaking about Liverpool and the performance, we're talking about they always included this rebuild. And I've got to be honest, where's this rebuild? What rebuild are we actually like? I know we have to get new midfielders in, but all the midfielders that you just mentioned, they're not starters. So when we're talking about
what midfielders are you talking about? Who are not?
You talking about you saying about Naby's going and Ox is going.
Milner's going.
Yeah. Fabinho's going now. Fabinho, okay, on his game, he'll be a starter. The others are not starters. So when we're talking about a rebuild, I mean, is it a kind of a massive rebuild, or is it just a kind of we're just going to need to replace these older players with much younger players and revitalize our midfield instead of rebuilding?
What people are talking about when they say rebuild, Fred, is we're talking about bringing in players who are starting ahead of these guys who we got. That's what we're talking about. And that is definitely needed because we know right now, to be honest, that midfield we have is not good enough. To be where we want to be and be challenging what we want to challenge, that midfield is not good enough.
No, but I don't think I think we have to look at the bigger picture in regards to
players who are better quality than that.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that. It's just a case of are we going to bring in two big hitters, but then be very light in numbers in the midfield? I mean, we've got to balance it out a bit. And the players that we're going to be getting, I won't be surprised if we got a player in on a free, because I wouldn't be surprised if there was a player out there. I can't think of the top of my on the top of my head who that would be. But it's not a big, massive rebuild like a lot of the media have coming out and saying. And because I mean, back four, you know, we're fine at the moment. We
still need another centre half, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, after Gomez, I think after Gomez is not coming back as good as he has been, I think he's definitely someone who's going to be looking over his shoulder. But again, he signed another 4-year contract.
Yeah, that's right. That's you know what? So we at least when we're ready to get, we can sell. We'll be giving him a free, bro. Yeah, and also we can't rely on Matip. We never know when he's going to pop down as well.
That's true.
I was
So with this rebuild, sorry, gents. So with this rebuild, who would you bring in as a centre half?
Oof,
like if you had the choice, like who would you?
There's a couple centre halves that they've actually been looking at. One of them is, oh my gosh, there's 2 players they've been looking at from Benfica as well. One of them's is a midfield, the other's a centre half. I'm trying to remember the names of them. You know what? I did some, as I do. I normally do my homework, but I didn't print it off to bring with me. But there's 2 players that they're looking at from Benfica, and one of them's a centre half. There's another guy. Okay. Is it he plays centre half as well, Gavaldi or something like that as well.
Yeah, the Croatian.
Yes. Yeah. He's another one that they've been looking at. He's on the books as well. There is a couple that they have been looking at. Is it something? And no, Antonio Silva.
No eyes on that because I was on.
And is he the midfielder or the centre half though? At Benfica. One of them's name's Antonio Silva, and I can't remember the other one, but definitely a player from Benfica and Gavaldi, the Croatian guy.
Cool, but we're treating Benfica like Southampton, nicking all their best players.
Yeah.
Cool, was I mean?
Trust me. Yeah, so yeah, we are definitely, and I think it's definitely needed. We get another centre half in, well, alongside with 2 midfielders. Then that wouldn't be.
Who would you go for in midfield? Like,
well, come on, man.
You know who I'm like.
Oh boy.
James.
Hold on. What's Fabrice? Who does Fabrice go? Oh, James.
I know.
James. Ask Fabrice. Who was his number 1 pick?
I didn't say number 1 pick. I just said if you're looking for someone to come in.
Don't say the name.
No, but I want to see. I want to see James's reaction. Though. I want to get James's reaction.
I want to allow the initials only. Yeah. JWP. Fine. It stops there.
So James, on the show, Fabrice has said that he would love to get JWP. It wouldn't be a bad signing. What was what's your reaction to that?
To be fair, I've always rated him. I actually generally think he is a.
What? Because he's got the same name as you.
I just generally think with a dead body, he is one hell of a specialist.
What happens when the ball's moving?
Always a dead ball game.
Well, of course, but he's got just terrific. He's got terrific accuracy and vision, and in a big team, I think he would have done well.
Fair play. Ask for your opinion.
Obviously,
I will bring back the hitman.
He's in his prime now, so when he was in his prime, I'm talking about then. Like he would have been a big asset in a big team. Not now. He's coming towards the end of his career.
He's only about 28 now, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's he's sort of losing. Yeah, he hasn't got that rawness about him no more.
He says to keep Jota as well. He says definitely keep Jota.
Boy, Teacher's gone. Got that list going.
How badly do you want Bellingham to go to Liverpool?
No.
Yes, please.
He says he paid 45 million. 45 million was for Jota.
Okay. Oof, that's still good money.
But you know what I was thinking the other day? That if Southampton go down, you might be able to scoop him up on the cheap, JWP.
20 minutes. Listen, you know what? I love, I'm not going to say his name because, but I'm going to call him JB, yeah, great, an amazing player. But he could go to Real Madrid and stay there for 2-3 years and still be in his prime and still come to Liverpool. For me, if we're looking to spend 120, 150 million pounds on, let's say, in our midfield, you know what? I'm actually going for tried and like true players. So you're looking at now, McAllister, 60 million. You are looking at Declan Rice, 70 million.
Nah, he's coming to us.
70 and the rest.
That's a lot more than 70 million for Declan Rice.
I'm saying a lot more than 70 million, bro.
70, okay, 80.
A lot of money.
But
no, he's
we're talking about
100
100 mil, bro.
He's a 110 mil player.
But you know what? I think if Declan Rice forces the issue, I think Liverpool will be definitely in for a big shout. And I would rather get those two players than just a one player of the quality of Jude Bellingham.
Interesting. Yeah, so that's what you're talking. You're looking about around 160 million for them two players,
which is doable.
But totally irrelevant if we don't get to the top four.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Like we can sit here and we can say, but and I just want us to get that first job done, which is let's get that top four. When we get that top four, yeah.
Teach is on one today, boy. He says, out in the last first of all, he said 12 months, then he changed it to 14 months. How many goals has Jota scored?
And if it's okay, Teach, that is a valid question. I think the only response I'd have for that is Jota's actually been injured for a long period of time. So I think that question is actually quite harsh. If he was fit and he was playing, then I think it would be a valid question. But if a player is injured, as an example, which Jota was, that question is almost irrelevant. That's just my personal opinion on that. But valid question. Jota's an amazing player, but if he's injured, he can't contribute towards Liverpool. That's the same thing that I can say.
Then he goes on to say he's got Owen hamstrings.
Woo.
No, not we want 60 million, Mark. What they're saying is 60 million is what their clubs are looking at to offer for him. Newcastle being one of the main ones. 60 million is what they're looking to offer for him.
But he's like saying that we won't get 60 million for that job.
Yeah.
That's literally what he's saying.
Wait until FSG and Klopp come with the excuses in the summer. Oh my days.
Let us have our shine. We're in March. We just beat Manchester United. Just allow us to have a little bit of happiness.
No, you've had your shine already.
This shine lasts until the next game. You're only as good as your last game, yeah? So this shine lasts for us until our next game. I think Liverpool are missing Diaz big time. This was another one that people was talking about they might even sell in the group.
No.
Oh, Diaz.
I'm telling you.
No.
I don't even support you, and I wouldn't sell him.
That says it all.
No, Mark, I fully agree with you, mate. We need to cut our losses with Curtis Jones and Oxlade. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100%. What did Teach say now? We need 3 midfielders and it will transform the team plus one centre back. Then we are good to go.
Okay, and I like that. I like that. I do. I agree with that actually.
Listen, Teach, you need to come on more often, man. Trust me, I'm liking this. However, the engine is going to cost at least 150, 180 million. And who's lending FSG? Their piggy bank.
But you know what's interesting, and I know I've mentioned it on a few shows as well, Teach. However, the end room is going to cost between 150, 180. Yeah. Rodrigo de Paul that I still love from Atletico Madrid. I've been quite vocal how much I like him, but also Paulinho from Fulham is not going to cost us 150 million pounds, and he would be an amazing player for us from Fulham. He's not going to cost us that high volume of player.
I think we got to start banning. We got to start banning Stoney from saying that name as well.
I know exactly.
Like he's got shares on. Like he's got shares in him.
He's like got
shares in Fulham.
Hendo Millie. What do you say? Hendo Millie, Ox Nabby, Fabs are done. Head gasket gone.
Yeah.
He says whoever buys them will be moving like they got a car from Car Giant. High miles.
Hey, but them man's there, them boys there, they can easily go to Spain or Italy and they can still play for another 3 or 4 years because of that pace, but they got the quality. But I'd keep Hendo a bit longer, but the rest of them, get rid.
Yeah, he was saying he was praying that you weren't going to say that Declan Rice. Oh yeah, another one. Mason Paws will be one of them that arrives because of the English player rules. So
is Mason Mount's contract up at the end of this season?
Yeah, I believe so.
Nah.
He's got 1 year left.
1 year left. It's 24.
It'd be another option.
Never rated in Mason Mount anyway.
Lot of money.
Yeah, Jerry's out on that one.
Right, gentlemen. So what have we got? Bournemouth coming up.
That's correct.
And who's your next game against, James?
I'll be honest with you.
Nottingham Forest.
No, if I'm honest with you.
Nottingham Forest.
No, I mean, Tottenham have got Forest, ain't it? Southampton.
No, hang on.
Hey, Man United got Southampton at home.
Yes,
Man United got Southampton at home.
Yes, we've got Southampton because I live in Southampton. We was talking about this.
Yeah, that's Southampton.
Yeah.
So you see that result of the weekend has bamboozled you, innit, James?
Yeah, exactly, James.
No, you know what it was? I was looking so like it was. I was in a nightmare for the last 4 days, and we won tonight. And I was just purely focusing on tonight, and I didn't really look any matches ahead apart from tonight just to get a result. But I'll look tonight about.
I'm glad Mr. Amonde Jim has shown face. Another one from the Man United agenda. He's shown face, mate. He says, respect, guys. That result was epic and legendary. You have a heavy trump card to drop on any of my future arguments. We already had a few trump cards.
Had that.
We already had a few 9-0, bro, in one season. We already had a few, bro. Trust me.
Another one to write down in the black book.
That's brilliant.
Right, so Liverpool Bournemouth predictions before we go, gentlemen.
I want another clean sheet and I want to win, but I know, like it's like what did they say? The thing out of the Lord Mayor show, the afterwards, like we've won against Man United 7-0. Now we're playing against Bournemouth. I know Bournemouth are a tricky side to play. Hey,
he comes on as we're finishing the show. That's as we're finishing. And look at that, he came on. And we've got 7 viewers. Well done.
I don't want to interrupt. I just want to say respect to the Kop TV channel and everything else. It's embarrassing. You really showed what you always had. I don't know why it's been hiding. Why did you save it for us? But welcome back, shall I say? From wherever you've been. I don't know. You've been a shadow of yourselves this season, but you showed just how sizzling hot you can be as a team. And to me, you've got to be one of the most dangerous, potent teams that I've seen in the Premiership over this era you had with Klopp. Amazing side, and respect to all you guys. And I'm humbled by what happened the other day. You really put us to the sword.
Big shout. You know what? Chew, you've just come on. I will just give you a quick 2 minutes just to say something before we wrap up. What went wrong for Man United in your eyes?
I think a couple of factors here. I don't know what goes on. I'm only speculating here. I don't know what goes on. But they'll go into tactics in a minute. But character, we just won the cup. We've been and beat Barcelona. We've gone through all this stuff. And I think even me going into the game, I thought, okay, we can actually get a win here at Anfield. But we forgot. Someone said, you must have forgot. You must have forgot that sort of. And we must have forgot about Anfield and about what Liverpool are really about. You sleeping like a sleeping lion, we're sort of buzzing around you. Look at you down there. And suddenly you just wake up and roar. and one hell of a roar he did. I mean, it was just in the first half. I think the difference was we were in control. We were okay. You know, we were kind of managing things. But the difference was your keeper, man. In that first goal, in the space of 30 seconds, he's pinged the ball 30 yards to feet, distribution to the left back. Nothing on, play it home, recycle the ball. Seconds later, he's come out his box, pinged it 40 yards to left back who's gone near the halfway line, straight to feet, then huddle. And then he's coming cut inside and opened us up, and we've got players ahead of the play. So that shows you the dimension of distributing the ball. That's the benchmark, Alisson. And I was like, oh my God, it's been such a tight game. But what made the difference, what makes the different dimension to your game, which we haven't got, is that you can distribute the ball like that. No problem. He can do it with his eyes closed. Do you understand what I'm saying? So that to me was like, wow, that's the deciding factor. You got 30% of your play is beating a press where players are going that way, and suddenly one ball, you can break the lines, and we're having to run back and we're all out of shape. And that from the second half, he just mauled us. I mean, it was just embarrassing. And it got to the point where, when you're 10 years old, you're crying because you're losing the game. I felt that for the players. I'm sure every one of the players must be bawling out there. We've all been there. Where you don't want to look at anybody, you feel shame. And there's nothing I can do. And I just felt we were kicking out, we were fighting, we were trying to, give a bit of afters here and there. It was embarrassing, disgraceful, and that will live on for the rest of our lives. I could never see us be doing that to you guys. So that's all I can say. I think the main difference is we're taking baby steps towards where you guys are. The difference is we need a keeper, as demonstrated there. I don't know if you see the game in the first half. The Gays kicked the ball and nearly fluffed it. They nearly scored 3 times in the first half. That's a major difference, and I think you're still ahead of us in that respect. And it's good to see Gakpo and Nunes starting to fire and click, and it's like looking good. Just at the wrong time of the season, because I think if you started like this, you could be in 90-point title contention again. But I just want to say one last thing. I heard the other day there's a midfield dynamo on the bottom right. Everyone says that the best centre-back in non-league football is our man T. I dispute that. I think I'm in contention with you. But I am hearing the best 50-year-old midfield dynamo is down here. Is that right?
He's
how modest he is. But anyway, enough about that. Big respect.
I'm gonna dust off my boots, man. I'm gonna have to dust off my boots and come back, lads. Hey.
Anyway, enough respect to you guys. That's all I have to say.
No, but listen, thanks for coming on Monday, man. Trust me, that was nice. You know what I mean? It was right at the end, James, but you got a bit of support there because Mr. B, he's still in hiding. You know what I mean? Don't know where he's still eating that big plate.
Mr. B, mate. Where are you?
Yeah, I'm telling you, Stoney, you need to have words with your bro, man.
No.
Not impressed. Not impressed.
I've got to be honest. Hey, Stoney, the picture you shared on WhatsApp group on Sunday of Mr. B, it said it pictured 1,000 words.
Brilliant. It was brilliant. That was brilliant. You could see the pain in the picture. You could see it.
It was amazing. Absolutely amazing, man.
Right, gentlemen, it's been a blast once again, I must say, man. Do remember, it's all about next week, Thursday, once again. Tune in, log in, Cop Talk. Big shouts to the Full Time Sports Network crew. And before we go as well, I didn't get your prediction, James, for Man United Southampton.
I'd go 3-1.
What was that for?
3-1 for Man United.
3-1.
Obviously.
On Monday?
Yeah, I just think we've got to get the win. We have to. And we've got a lot of rebuilding to do, but a win is vital.
Okay.
2-0.
2-0. Okay. Gentlemen, it's been a blast, man. Mr. R&B? Come on like a Peaky Blinder today.
Oh, yeah. And I just want to say, I've been trolling all United fans on my TikTok. Literally, they've been getting it. They've been getting it from left, right, and centre. And I don't apologize.
That's damn right. You're right. I don't blame you, mate. I don't blame you. Preds.
Yeah, I kind of going to jump on the back of what Debris said. Can all Man United supporters that I know and who's on my phone, can you please turn on your phone or unblock me?
Just go somewhere where you can get some signal, man. Go to the
go
or something, please. Because
no, I think they're being horrible by blocking me. I don't know why they want to block me, but come on, man.
Yourself safe on Facebook, please. At least.
Oh, God.
Be
James,
safe.
I must say, listen, round of applause to you, man. You came and sat through an hour and a half with the man them. That is big. You have, you have my respect, man. I must say.
I will be
Respect
honest
for
with
that,
you.
James.
Yeah.
5 minutes ago, I was tempted to quit. I was really tempted to push that lead, wasn't it?
He was gonna
Well
leave and play
done, well
PlayStation
done.
again.
And yeah, on Monday, well done, man. You saved face for the Man United agenda. Mr. B owes you one, man. Well done, well done. Stoney, my brother.
Yeah, listen, I can just say thanks again. I think it's been an amazing show. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Preds, to Brees, Artie for hosting another amazing show. James for saving praise. Listen, sir, you are a top man. You said it
Thank you,
prior to the game that you would actually be here. So that's 100% credit to you, and big shout out to Amondi as well. Everybody, as much as I want you guys to continue to tune into Cop Talk, remember to tune into the Man United event agenda as well. Amazing content, amazing historians with Man United and additional content as well. So you guys just keep up the good work. It's amazing, man.
Right, peoples. Do remember, same place, same time next week. We will be here. Good night.